Well, hello everybody. My name is Steve Ferrel, Ferrel Farms. Our family farm is located east of Frankfort, right on the highway. We are a grain and livestock farm. Joining me today is Matt Simmons with Purdue Farms. We are a contract grower for Purdue. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is growing turkeys in Clinton County.
So you can kind of see, we talk about egg laying. You can kind of see the difference in eggs. This one here is a turkey egg. This one here is a chicken egg. You can kind of see the difference in size. Each and every bird, they will lay about 2 eggs every 3 days. So they won't lay one every day. And then from there, they are collected 3 days a week and sent to Vincennes. The eggs are washed and disinfected and kept in cold storage until they can get down there and start incubating them. And so they collect eggs in each barn every hour, every day. Christmas, New Year's, Easter, holidays, weekends. Turkey never takes a day off. So, I mean, there's someone in there collecting eggs every day.
How long does it take for a bird to hatch? Once they're set in the incubator.
Once we start heating them up, it is 28 days. So once they get to the hatchery, they're kept in cold storage, so nothing's happening then. But once we stick them in, we'll call them setters. Once we stick them in the setter, the temperature is increased, and then 28 days after that, they will hatch out. As the bird lays the egg, we pick them up. They're cleaned, and they're sent to a hatchery. At the hatchery, that egg will be kept in a cold room until we're 5-6 days until we're ready to start the process of incubating that egg. So for the first 21 days, they'll be kept at 82 degrees. And it kind of ramps up that production, that advancement of that bird in that egg. And in the last 7 days, they are incubated at 90 degrees. And it takes 28 days from start to finish to incubate that egg before it comes out of the egg. And then once it's out of the egg, we do process it. They get their shots there at the hatchery. They're divided between males and females. And then from there, they're sent to a farm like Steve.
Tell us a little bit about that process of once the bird breaks the egg open and hatches. What all does it go through before they stick them in boxes and send them our way?
So yeah, there's a process at the hatchery where they get through. The first stage will be the people that sex them, determine whether they're male or female. So they're split up, and then the people after that, they do get an injection. They get a couple different vaccinations just to help that bird thrive and get off to a good start. And then from there, they do get put in boxes, plastic boxes, and each box will hold 100 turkeys. And it's, I don't know, what a 3 by 2 box. And then there's dividers, so it's split into quarters. So 25 in each quarter, and then those are put on the truck and sent to the appropriate farm.
Well, we do apologize that we cannot go into the turkey barns today. With the current stage of the bird flu in the state of Indiana, their biosecurity is very important to us. As an example, when I go from barn to barn, I change boots in every barn. I don't wear the same boots outside the barn. And the reason is back to this bird flu. And Matt, why don't you talk a little bit on the bird flu, and you can explain it much better than I on the dangers and the security reasons of why we do that.
Yeah, even under normal circumstances, we do have a tight biosecurity for the barns. I mean, like Steve said, changing boots, we shower into the farm so that we're clean going in, because even like the human flu. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of us have had the flu at some point, even with the COVID, flu-like symptoms. The human flu, we can spread it to the birds, so it is important to maintain good biosecurity, showering in, disinfecting, sanitizing our hands with hand sanitizer as we go in, because the birds are very susceptible to disease. That's why we limit the traffic flow into the barns. So we try not to have a lot of people in the barns. That's why we really discourage, even today, going into the birds, just to prevent any kind of bird flu or any kind of disease that we might track in. And if you've heard about the bird flu that is in the news now, we've had, as migratory birds start to migrate, they can bring in flu, because I mean they're carriers of the flu, and then they can through their feces can contract it or get it on your farm, and then you might track it in. So we limit the traffic flow, but the bird flu is avian influenza, is devastating for the birds. A lot of them don't survive it. So it is utmost importance to keep it out of our barns, to keep the birds alive, keep them healthy.
The first thing that we have to do in order to get ready for a group of turkeys, baby turkeys from Matt, is that we have to thoroughly clean the barns. We start out by removing all the old manure. We wash from top to bottom with hot water. We make our repairs, and then we set back up for the arrival of day-old baby turkeys. Feeders and drinkers go directly on the floor due to the birds being so small, and the barns will be approximately 90 degrees in temperature when they arrive, and we just keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we got off to a good start with each of them. We are in 30-week cycles. The first 16 weeks of growing turkeys, they get 16 hours of light. We want them to hurry up and grow. And then we go through a process that we call dark out, to where we slow the birds down. They are only allowed 6 hours of light. We want them to think it's winter time. And the 6 hours of light, food and water, it allows them to mature together as a group. And at the end of week 30, we pick them up, and they are hauled to other barns of Purdue, and then we start inseminating them. The time that we do have them is they go through a series of water vaccinations and a series of shots just to keep them healthy. The turkeys we raise are not for Thanksgiving or Christmas. We raise replacement breeding stock. And then once Steve's birds, like he said, raised up to 30 weeks of age, those birds are taken to another farm where they're going to lay eggs for 26 weeks. And the eggs that come out of those are sent down to Vincennes, Indiana, to a hatchery, where those birds will be hatched out and sent to farms all over southern Indiana, southern Illinois, and those will be meat birds. And those birds are raised up to 20 weeks of age, and then from there they're processed and then sent for further processing, whether they're cooked or sent to burgers, sausages. But some of the big accounts with Purdue, if you've ever ate at Subway, I had a turkey sandwich at Subway, that is Purdue turkey. Jersey Mike's, that is another big company account with Purdue. Those are probably our two biggest accounts. Of course, we do service a lot of the fast food and a lot of the other grocery stores. We do supply them with a percentage of their turkey and chicken. So as far as the chicken side or the turkey side of Purdue, we're about 7%. So it's a small part of Purdue Farms. Chickens being, of course, the largest, and those are all over the East Coast and down south. So And I might add, Purdue's one of the larger poultry producers in the United States. They're in the top 5.
Yep, yeah. On the turkey part of things, we are ranked number 3 in the country with turkey pounds produced. Of course, Tyson is being the largest, and then you got Far Best Foods, who is number 2, and then we're right behind them in pounds produced. And I'll give a little bit of overview and history on Purdue Farms. Purdue Farms started out in 1920 as table chicken eggs with Arthur Purdue. He's the founding father, and then his son Frank Purdue took over, and now currently it is his son Jim Purdue. Jim Purdue is currently has 2 sons that he is currently grooming to take over, but it is a family-owned operation farm comprised mostly of chickens. It started out as chickens back in the late 80s, 86, 87. They did buy a turkey company here in Indiana, so that's how they got in the turkeys back in 1986, I believe it is. And then from there, they expanded to currently now they've gotten into hogs and cattle. Some of those companies are Nyman Ranch. If you see them in the grocery store, they're organic, free-range cattle and hogs. So that's a little bit of overview on the history of Purdue.